Allison Royalty ready, and the first pitch all the way from the right-hander, and it's upstairs, and off we go.
And Florida State making an adjustment early, playing inside the baseline, and that's because Kaylee Snell has great speed, one of the fastest base runners on the team, also a short game specialist, just trying to dump the ball through the infield.
Puts that in the air to left field, cheating towards the line was Kaylee Mudge, and she advances basically to straightaway left to make the catch, and that's the way the game begins. Florida State comes in 43 wins on the season, finished second in the regular season in the ACC at 19-5 behind Duke, lost to the Blue Devils in the ACC championship title game last week in Durham.
And let's face it, for Florida State to earn the 15 seed, they had a very strong second half of the season. They had a rough start to the season. A lot of freshmen in the lineup, and their pitching defense just had struggled early. And they have come on strong here in the second half of the season and find themselves in a familiar spot, which is hosting regionals.
Great freshman Issa Torres. Seminole team, number 15 national seed. I think the ACC team that's a little surly about where they were placed is the Duke Blue Devils at that 10 seed and not in one of the top 8 seeds.
Well, and I have to admit, when watching the selection show, I thought the committee overall did one of the best jobs it's ever done, but that was the one that left me scratching my head. Duke was in the top 8 all season long in RPI, obviously all of the polls, ACC regular season champion, ACC championship in the tournament. They won that, and I was just very surprised that they did not receive a top 8 seed. ACC conference very strong this season.
Up high to Cameron Cernuto. Cameron all SoCon first team this year. Hitting 23 of 24 games in one stretch of the season from early March through the end of April. The Chattanooga Mocs, it's their 16th NCAA tournament. Didn't go last year, but did go 2 years ago in 2022. They went to the Tuscaloosa Regional back in 2022. They actually beat Murray State. That was their first NCAA tourney win. 2011. So they call out Cernuto on strikes. He was out of the batter's box. That turned into strike 3. Brings up Olivia LePerry with 2 outs. Fun to talk to the players from Chattanooga, including Olivia LePerry yesterday. The team is excited to be in Tallahassee this weekend.
And this is a team that knows how to win. I mean, you don't get over 40 wins in a season without knowing how to get a lead, keep a lead. When you're behind, fighting back, coming back. And this is a team that's won not 1 but 2 championships this year in the SoCon. Well, this is a red-hot team. They're playing with a lot of confidence. And a very tight-knit team. You could feel the chemistry in the room just with the 3 young ladies we were talking to.
Strike taken on 3-0 by LePerry. She has been a starter, 165 career games. This being 166 and her 166th start. Takes ball 4. So there's the game's first base runner, LePerry. There's a 2-out walk for Chattanooga. Frank Reed, the head coach of the Mocs, in his 23rd season. Won 9 of their last 10. 12 of their last 13 as well. A team that can hit. Got an outstanding pitcher you're going to see tonight, Asia Gould. And they really think they're ready for this stage. You look back last 2 years ago when they played in Tuscaloosa. They lost to Bama 3-0. Montana Fouts came in relief to win that game, and then they lost to Bama 6-2. It's not like they were blown out in either of those games at the Rhodes House in Tuscaloosa.
And this is a very complete team. We just saw the numbers earlier. They got that postseason experience, but this is a team that is strong in all three major areas of the game: offense, defense, and in the circle. And that is a recipe for success. Now, last season, Oklahoma was the first team to ever be #1 in all three of those categories, and we know where they ended up. But Chattanooga really doesn't have a glaring weakness within their team.
A little meeting there for Royalty after she threw the first pitch out of the zone to Bailey Pitts. Now levels the count. Here is the sophomore, Ringgold, Georgia, which is not too far from Chattanooga on I-75, a little south of town on the road to Atlanta. All the teams in this regional, the other three teams besides Florida State, all bused here to Tallahassee. It was about a 6-hour ride for the team from Chattanooga. To count on Pitts.
Well, when you get to this time of year, the teams that are getting into the NCAA tournament have done two things. They've been good from start to finish. Florida State, you know, a team that has over the course of the season played well, or you're catching a team that knows how to win at the right time and win that tournament. And that's what Chattanooga has done.
The ball bounces past the catcher Edenfield. Perry all the way down to second. Now, we talked with Michaela Edenfield yesterday. The broken finger on her throwing hand, you see there, that is taped up. She said, no way is it 100%, not even close. But I have to play this time of year. Does affect her throwing, the grip of the bat at times. But she's such a big piece, only missed about 2.5 weeks due to that fractured finger.
Yeah, and your grip strength, you know, when you're hitting, the grip strength mainly comes from the bottom three fingers, so that was a quicker adjustment for her. But, you know, she told us yesterday she's got a plate and 7 screws in there. That's quite the surgery, and for her to be back on the field is quite impressive.
Well, a couple of 2-out walks after Pitts gets the free pass, and now 2 on 2 outs for the DP, Kendall Forsythe. Two-out walk to LaPerry, 2 on for Forsythe, but she's in the hole 0-2. What a breakout season for Kendall Forsythe. She's in her senior year, but her first 3 seasons, she had a total of 126 at-bats and 29 games started in those first 3 years. She's obliterated all those numbers this year. She's been a starter all season, hitting .340, leading the team in RBIs. But Royalty gets a strikeout, her second of the inning.
More spin over speed. It's the spin and the spots, the locations, that's going to create those ground ball outs.
California girl from Stockton, California, says she loves the mountains in Chattanooga. She'll face Kaylee Mudge leading off. Mudge, Beecham, and Harding, top of the order for Florida State. Beecham waiting on deck.
Kaylee Mudge has had such an impact in the leadoff spot in the order for Florida State, really throughout her career. And one of the reasons why, not only does she see a lot of pitches, She's able to bunt her way on base, also can hit the extra base hit, but she is tough to strike out. 20th in the country in terms of toughest to strike out. So she really makes the pitcher battle, starting with the first at bat.
Really made the ACC all-tournament team last week. A run to the title game against Duke. Had a season-high 3 RBIs in the ACC tourney when they had over Georgia Tech. There's a strike for Gould, and it's a full count. Asia Gould, Stockton, California, Lincoln High School. She was the workhorse this season, and especially in the SoCon tournament. She was the MVP, actually MOP of that tournament. First base side, backhanded and taken to the bag there by Ace Sellers, 3 unassisted. Asia Gould won the last 3 games played by Chattanooga in the SoCon tournament. She threw 479 pitches in 5 games they played in the tournament over a 3-day span.
That's somebody who wants the ball,
yes.
Mark. And I mean, wants the ball, and not only, there's not many pitchers out there who don't want the ball, but then what are you going to do once you get it? And she has really led their team here to this moment in regionals.
You asked her, I think it was yesterday when we chatted with her, what kind of turned it on for you where your season really started getting outstanding? And she said, it's when I stopped caring about the numbers I was putting up. I didn't look at them anymore. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to focus on that any longer. And apparently made a big change for her. Faces Beecham. He takes a strike, 1-2.
I mean, what a season for Beecham. A lot of times it takes a while for a hitter to adjust to collegiate pitching, coming right out of high school, travel ball, because every pitcher can make the ball dance. Every pitcher has a strength.
Looks fooled there on that pitch by Gould and strikes out. And Paige Gould, it's her first strikeout of the night.
Got Beecham to chase. This pitch is out of the zone. It's a curveball that starts off the plate and breaks into the other batter's box. But remember, this is Beecham's first postseason NCAA tournament opportunity. And definitely not a swing we usually see from Jason E. Beecham.
2 outs, base is empty. 1-1 to Kaylee Harding. Kaylee, the DP tonight. She is a Tennessee native from Murfreesboro. First team all ACC this year. Had a couple of home runs in the ACC tournament. Hit one against North Carolina. I should say North Carolina. One against Notre Dame and one against Duke.
Well, if you've been around postseason softball now for a while, some of these names for Florida State, and you get a look at Kaylee Harding and what she's been able to do throughout her career here at Florida State. This is an elite program. This is the program that goes deep into the postseason, and yet she is very close to owning records, definitely the top 5 of a lot of those offensive categories. She draws a walk.
A 4-pitch walk from Paige Gould. Harding reaches a 2-out base runner for Florida State. Their cleanup hitter and catcher coming up, Michaela Edenfield. We visited with Michaela yesterday. She was the elder statesperson. She's the redshirt junior, but really academically a senior, with 3 other freshmen on the team that we were visiting with. And you can really tell that she felt like the mother hen there with the freshmen.
Yeah, just the maturity, the thoughtful answers. I mean, if you've been around postseason softball, you know the name Edenfield, Harding, Mudge, Flaherty. I mean, these are seasoned veterans with a lot of postseason experience, and Edenfield is probably valuing this postseason a little more than most, you know, not knowing if she was going to be able to come back or not from her injury, but is hitting in the cleanup spot in the order.
It's off the plate away. The freshman impact has been significant. Isa Torres and Beecham on that left side of the infield, and what they do with the bat as well. For the left side here at shortstop, long throw in time from Kaylee Snell. A 2-out walk to Harding. She is stranded. Takes care of FS. This time SoCon Coach of the Year.
And you know what you're going to get when you play a Frank Reed coach team, and that is a very disciplined team. A team that believes they can win. It's always a very well-rounded team. And this is nothing new for them to be in the postseason.
Lily Phillips up there hacking at the first pitch from Allison Royalties. We're into the top of the second. Hawks have the 6, 7, and 8 part of the order up. By the way, this is the 10th ever meeting between these schools. Florida State has won all 9 previous meetings, but this is the first time they've met since March 13th of 2012. And FSU won here on this field 1-0 over Chattanooga. So it's been a while since the Mocs and Noles have played one another in softball. Strike count on Kaylee Phillips. Leads the team with 15 homers. Kaylee Phillips started her collegiate career at Tennessee a couple years.
Yeah, and you know, she's really having quite the season. She's a 6th-year senior with a COVID year and a redshirt year with injury, but she really talked to us yesterday a lot about, we asked her, where's all this power coming from this season? And she's really focusing on just hitting the ball hard. And again, trying to keep it simple. And that's always something that hitters especially, you can get real mechanical. You can start to guess what the pitcher may be throwing. You're starting to think about your hands, your elbows, your knees, your hips. And when you're in the box, the only thing you should be thinking is trust your swing. And in Kaylee Phillips' case, just hit the ball hard. And that's really worked for her.
To third, up with that is Jason E. Beecham. Runs it across to get Phillips. Now that's the other part of the freshman story for Florida State, is they have 2 true freshmen on the left side of the infield and have both been spectacular with the glove.
And this is a pitching staff for Florida State that is very uncharacteristic of a Florida State pitching staff, in that they don't have a pitcher who averages double-digit strikeouts in a game. So the ball is going to be hit. I mean, that has been the story all season long for Florida State. Their offensive numbers are like video games, but their pitching has really struggled this season, and that means the defense has had to step up, and specifically on the left side with 2 freshmen, they've really met the challenge.
Beecham at third and Torres at short on the left side. Eddie Keelan, the right fielder, takes up high Royalty. Ball is hit high and deep to right field, and it is run down and caught by Janai Kerr. Hey, what, off the bat, looked like it had a chance maybe to get out, and then it took an acrobatic move by Kerr to haul it in.
Well, off the bat, this one sounded like Chattanooga was going to put a run on the board. Janai Kerr says, nope, showing you her flexibility And that's just finding a way, putting your glove up where you think the ball's going to go and having it fall in. And she really just saved extra base hits there.
It's a double off the wall if that doesn't find the mitt.
I'm not sure. And I'm not so sure she makes that play. She's right-handed. You know, being able to throw that glove on her right hand to her right side of the body really helped make that catch.
Yeah, excellent point. That would have required an even more acrobatic move. The gloves on the left hand. Yeah, she likes her tools of the trade. Thank you, glove. He's Purdy. Three balls, no strikes on the Chattanooga catcher. A huge game in the SoCon tourney clincher, a 4 RBI game against UNCG, and that's a 4-pitch walk. Third walk handed out by Royalty. She gave up 2 with 2 outs in the first inning.
Yeah, you look at this Florida State team and heading into the postseason, a lot of times opponents are scratching their head and saying, how can I get some hits off the Florida State pitching? And it's been a whole different ball game this year for the Florida State pitching staff. Very young staff. They've battled injuries all season long, and they have had to really work to earn this 15 seed. Their offense has just learned how to outscore people.
Ace Sellers, the first baseman for Chattanooga. Rocky Face, Georgia. There's another town on the Georgia side, just southeast of Chattanooga. It's out of the air to right field. Coming in this time, Kerr, and a headlong diving catch by Janai Kerr, and the right fielder for the Noles showing off the glove twice.
Continues to elevate this program. Tell you, she has done a masterful job of coaching the pitching staff this season for Florida State. It has not been an easy task, as they have a lot of youth. They've had all the injuries, and it's not a typical ERA over 3.0 entering the postseason that you see from a Florida State pitching staff.
Joanne Grant, by the way, was here yesterday. All 4 teams were here for workouts at different times, and you and I were here as well and chatted with Joanne, and he said, "You're going to be here for the regional?" She said, "The way it worked out, I have a snorkeling trip to the Caribbean that I leave for on Friday."
I'm so sorry to hear that.
So Joanne's not here. I'm sure she's monitoring on her phone or some other fashion in the Caribbean.
Well, I feel like I've known Coach Graff for a very, very long time. She was an idol of mine, a role model of mine, you know, early in my coaching career, and I've known her ever since. Long time relationship, and I did not know she was a marine biology major, and thus one of the reasons she was really excited, not only to go to the Caribbean, who isn't, but just her love of the ocean and that sort of thing.
Yeah, bringing those national championship banners back in the AIAW days in '81 and '82. It's Torres. Still 0-2. Just north of Austin, Georgetown, Texas. A home run against Georgia Tech in the ACC tournament, a grand slam. Puts that one into center field for a base hit. A leadoff hit for Isa Torres. UCF won here earlier today, 11-6 over Auburn. They came back, they were down 6-4 before 2 3-run home runs late in that game propelled the Knights to the win, and they're in the winner's bracket awaiting the winner of this game tomorrow. Swinging bunt, Flaherty draws in the corner infielders. Ball 1 to Devin. Leadoff batter is reached. Torres at first. Nobody out in the FSU second. Evan's got to make sure she's got the band on correctly there, or she knows what's coming from the dugout. Ball blocked by Purdy. Throw down to second in time. Now, something you will learn if you haven't followed Chattanooga softball. The catcher, Jace Purdy for Chattanooga, has a rifle behind the plate. She has an arm.
5th in the country in terms of runners thrown out stealing. This time, the ball gets away from her. She shows you her footwork, how quick she is, and the absolute cannon she has of an arm as she throws out Torres. She has thrown out now 18 would-be base stealers on the season,
which is top 5 in the nation. Interesting to see, and one of the great base stealers for Florida State's at the plate right now in Flaherty, and Amaya Ross. They've been their 2 best base stealers, and it's like Torres kind of got induced to run on that one with the ball in the dirt. But it'll be really interesting to see when you get Flaherty and Ross on base where this is going to go.
Yeah,
that's an early statement right there from Purdy.
Sure, and to me, this is the game within the game, because Florida State prides themselves on taking the extra base, going the extra 60 feet. They're always have their head on a swivel and advancing bases, and certainly can steal bases. They have 83 on the season, but when you're facing a catcher like Jace Purdy, that can be the great equalizer. So far, point to Purdy in terms of shutting down the base running for Florida State.
Ground ball right to the second baseman. That's Olivia LaPerry. That's 2 down in the Florida State second. So Gould is sent down Flaherty for the second out, and will face Janai Kerr, who had 2 outstanding catches in right field in the top of the inning. Third team All ACC this year for Janai Kerr. All ACC first team a year ago. That's right out in front of the plate. No chance there for the arm of Purdy to throw her out. Well executed by Janai Kerr, and she's on with 2 down.
And what makes this bunt so effective is her ability to get it down the first time. Angles the bat down from the top of the strike zone, and because the first and third baseman were playing so far back with 2 outs, Jace Purdy, all she could do is chase it down. No throw.
0-1 to Amaya Ross. Mentioned all the steals she has, 28 on the season, 8 home runs. Great all-around year for Ross. Pulls this foul.
And she's such a great story because the first 2 years of her career, she really was a pinch runner, role player, got some time late in games, both offense and defense, and she just worked her tail off, stayed the course, stayed with the program, and she has been an everyday player now for Florida State.
Takes a strike. 135 at bats on the season. You mentioned as a true freshman 2 years ago, she had 42 at bats. Last year she had 36. So a big jump here in 2024 for Maya Ross. That is the second strikeout for Peja Gould. Couple of hits in the inning, but a runner left. Right back to the circle. 1 pitch, 1 out. As we get Kaylee Snell, as it's back to the top of the order. Listen, Royalty start here in game 1 of the regional for Florida State. Pitched a couple of times in the ACC tournament. Got a win against Notre Dame through 4 innings. No decision in the title game against Duke, which he threw 3 innings. Cameron Cernuto. Hopes that into right center field. A lot of green there, and that's going to go all the way to the fence. So he's going to stop at second base. They really had the center fielder Harp playing way over towards left center, playing her to hit the other way, and she hit that basically straight up center field, and a double for Cernuto, her team leading 19th two-base hit.
Well, you take a look at Cernuto, and she's typically more of a short game specialist, but she does have several extra base hits on the season and decides to look for a pitch up in the zone. It's elevated. She elevates her bat. Chattanooga has a runner in scoring position.
Strike one to Olivia LaPerry. Olivia walked in the first inning with 2 outs and was stranded. The team leading 32nd walk of the year. With that walk, she has now reached base, LaPerry, in 32 of her last 33 games with either a hit or a walk. Just foul. Fouled by about 2 or 3 feet. Third base umpire Steve Gould, who was the plate umpire in our first game today, had to do a little dance to get out of the way.
I think the ball's going to find Steve. He got hit in the forearm in the first game behind the plate. Has to do some nifty footwork there to avoid bruise number 2 of the day.
LaPerry, who is from Florida, just on the northeast side of Orlando. Oviedo. The fact that she grew up in Orlando, we were talking with Olivia yesterday, and she said she grew up going to UCF softball games. They're one of the teams here in this Tallahassee regional. Three-two. Hit play to the right side, and Flaherty, Devin with the underhand toss. Does allow Cernuto to go to third with 2 outs.
A really nice pitch from Royalty there, and forced LaPerry to reach for the ball. Really tough for a hitter when you get out of your element with 2 strikes. And that was really a situational pitch from Allison Royalty to retire LaPerry.
Pitts, first pitch swing and backing up on it. Torres able to gobble it up and throw her out. That had the potential to eat Torres up, but she was able to backpedal and make the play to retire the side, and Cernuto stranded at third.
Out of the last 5 seasons, they have been at the Women's College World Series.
9-1 and 2 hitters here for Florida State, so it's Kennedy Harp leading off. Actually, it's going to be a Haley Waycaser batting for Harp here. So Waycaser hitting for Harp in the 9th spot.
Well, that's one thing about Florida State. They are not afraid to use their roster, and to use their roster when they feel it matters the most. And in this case, it's the first inning of the game. Excuse me, the first at bat for Kennedy Harp of the game, where she's hit for Waycaser. But this is a very deep, very talented Florida State team. The lineup does change from time to time. You'll see some defensive changes late in the game, also some offensive changes.
Haley Waycaser sends one in the air to left center field, and the center fielder Cernuto calls off left fielder Pitts to make the catch. 1 out.
And those are the plays when the ball's in the air and you think, well, is it going to be caught? Is it going to be caught? And Cernuto really takes charge, and that's the type of ball that if it's not caught, that changes the entire inning and the momentum right now that Chattanooga has built in this game.
Back to the top of the order, and Kaylee Mudge bunted up the first base side, and she's going to let it roll foul. That was the wise decision by Ace Sellers, because Mudge was already streaking by her to the base. It turned out to be the only choice and the wise one for Ace. Kaylee grounded out to first base her first time up. Once through the order for Chattanooga pitcher Paige Gould. The strikeouts, a walk, 2 hits. You know, I had to ask Paige yesterday. I said, all right, what's the background on your first name, Paige? Now, keep in mind, she's from Stockton, California, Northern California, not far from Sacramento. And she said, my parents named me after the former Sacramento King player, Paige Stojakovic. I said, oh, so were they big Stojakovic fans? They said, no, not really, just like the name. So Stojakovic played for the Kings 98 through 2006, played for some other teams after that. And Paige Gould here, the pitcher, said, I actually ran into him a couple times. I played against his daughter in some competitions. And I went up and told him, I said, I'm named after you, Paige Stojakovic. So an interesting way to get a first name.
And a very unique name.
It is unique. Paige Stojakovic of Serbian descent. Left field. This time it's the left fielder Pitts who does the calling off. Calls off the shortstop Kaylee Snell. 2 outs. But I didn't get the impression when we chatted with Paige Gould yesterday there was any intimidation factor at all for her coming in this situation.
And I'm so impressed with her first time through the lineup, plus 1 extra hitter with Mudge. Has really controlled a Florida State offense that is in the top 10 in almost every offensive category in the nation. Scoring, batting average.
That bullet goes foul.
Slugging percentage, on base percentage. I mean, this is a Florida State team that scores early, scores often. They attack, they keep coming at you. And so far in this game, Paige Gould has continued what she started in the SoCon tournament, and that is really controlling the game.
No question about the Noles offense. Top 10 in every major offensive category. Gould was not going to give Jason Beecham a chance to pull that pitch. Beecham, who was a strikeout victim back in the first. At the high outside corner strike call. Beecham behind in the count, just like she was in the first inning. Threw her a similar pitch, but this one she could actually get just the end of the bat on to foul it away.
Yeah, I mean, if keep going to that well until Beecham proves she can lay off that pitch with 2 strikes. But that is an outstanding curveball that she actually starts off the plate. It breaks even further off the plate into the left-handed batter's box. And right now, Beecham just a little over anxious on that pitch.
Paige Gould over the 50 pitch mark now here at the bottom of the 3rd inning in this scoreless game. Got her again on that same pitch. And curve away, strikes out Beecham for a 2nd time. Coach Frank Reed, what do you think so far of your offense 3 times up against Royalty?
Well, we're putting the ball in play, and that's really what we set out to do. I'm very excited about that. I think it's just a matter of, another inning or so we can maybe score a run here. We're hoping for that.
Well, Coach, Paige Gould has had an outstanding SoCon tournament. She's continuing to move the ball throughout the strike zone. What is it about her pitches that you're liking the most right now?
She's keeping the ball down. She's got she spins it really, really well. You're up there in the box. You can see it better than I can. She's phenomenal when she's on. So right now she seems to be got a strikeout on the big number 3 hitter. So we'll hopefully rock and roll with that.
He's out to a fine start. Appreciate the time. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Coach Frank Reed, 6-time SoCon Coach of the Year. He spent more than 30 years as a City of Chattanooga employee, lifelong Chattanooga resident. Now 23 seasons as the head coach at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga.
Rock and roll. I liked his words for Peja Gould. She is rocking and rolling and spinning the ball, especially with that curve ball. I think he misspoke there with the striking out the number 3 hitter twice, and he met the number 2 hitter. But yes, she has just a lot of confidence, a lot of poise right now in this ball game.
DP Kendall Forsythe to lead off the 4th inning, going after the first pitch. Fouls that off. Kendall struck out in her first at bat in the 1st inning. Forsythe made all SoCon first team as a DP. It's been a breakout senior season for her.
A nice pitch by Royalty there. She goes to the off speed. And she doesn't throw it for a strike, but she gets the swing and miss. And a lot of good pitchers will be able to do that. Trust your catcher to keep in front. See if you can get a swing and a miss on a pitch out of the zone.
Forsythe not chasing there. That is foul. There's contact made. Just about on top of home plate. I think it might have been a live ball for a second or so. A win foul. Five, 6, and 7 hitters here for Chattanooga. Mocs 42-14 on the year, went 16-5 in winning the regular season in the Southern Conference. And that is strike 3 on the inside edge. Coming up tonight, the All-ACC team will have all the highlights and analysis from the softball regionals, as well as the men's and women's lacrosse championships and the final weekend of the ACC baseball regular season. Coverage begins at 10 Eastern or after the final game of the night right here on ACC Network, as well as the ESPN app. Nice crowd tonight in Tallahassee. That ball shot into right field. Haley Phillips right on that first pitch.
We talked about it earlier in talking with Kaylee Phillips yesterday. We asked her, hey, take us inside your mindset as a hitter, because she has been on fire. And she said, all I'm trying to do is hit the ball hard and keep it simple. And that was an absolute rocket off of her bat into right field. And she is fired up, and this team is getting more confident as the game moves along.
Phillips hit safely in all 5 games in the SoCon tournament, had 3 hits in the tourney title game. Let us know yesterday when we chatted with her that she did earn her master's degree recently. Good for her. Addie Keelan hit a ball very well her first time up to right field. It took an acrobatic catch by Janai Kerr in right to rob her of extra bases. Keelan able to hold up. Sees the count go in her favor. 3 balls and a strike. Elon out of Udowa High School on the northeast side of Chattanooga. A 5-pitch walk. It's 4 walks allowed now by Royalty. They have not come back to hurt her as of yet, as of now.
Yeah, just having a tough time finding her command. She's really working all the pitch by committee to make sure people were fresh in the postseason. And this year, it's definitely been more out of need and necessity. Got a lot of injuries in the circle. And just not having that shutdown pitching staff that Florida State typically does.
Well, we're in the top of the 4th inning. 2 on, 1 out. You get a sense from this Florida State crowd that you've reached the middle stages of the game, and scoreless is fine for a while, but if you fall behind, it starts to get a bit nervous, very nervous for the hometown team and their fans.
And this offense has been very strong all season long, but as of late, even at the ACC tournament, you know, they weren't the typical Florida State offense that puts up a lot of runs, gets a lot of hits. They've been struggling lately, so if the offense kind of goes into that funk at this time of year, and their pitchers have been struggling a little bit, it's going to be tough. We talked about it in the previous game. This is the 4th toughest regional in terms of average RPI out of all 16 regionals, and you know, it's a lot of fun because every game is going to be competitive, and you don't know who's going to punch their ticket to super regionals. So much parity.
Slow roller charged by Beecham. She gets to it and throws her out. That was a big pitch on 3-1. Right in and on the hands of Purdy. Hit weakly left side. 2 runners do advance to 2nd and 3rd, but that's a big 2nd out for Royalty.
And most importantly for Royalty, with a runner in scoring position, she's able to keep the ball in the infield. And there you get a look at the RPI. The Los Angeles regional, the toughest in terms of average RPI, but not too far behind is this Tallahassee regional. A lot of battle-tested teams here, a lot of good competition, a lot of evenly matched teams.
Ace Sellers. Like one on the inside corner. Ace robbed by right fielder Kerr. 2nd inning with a headlong diving catch to end the frame. She's up here, 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. Old foul.
Having a lot of success right now with that screwball into right-handed hitters is Royalty. That's really been the pitch she's had the best command of. You mentioned it with the out with Purdy. Able to run it in on her hands. We've seen that now with a couple quick strikes here to Sellers.
Chattanooga's had at least 1 base runner in every inning. Threatening with 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. Next pitch for Royalty will be her 70th here with 2 gone in the top of the 4th. Sellers won't chase it again away. 2-2.
Well, I like what she's doing. She's trying to set up her set up her screwball again. After throwing 2 screwballs, she comes back on the outside part of the plate with curveballs, but they're not competitive enough. They're not over the white-black part of the plate enough. Easy takes there for Sellers.
That ball's to left center field. It's down, and will give Chattanooga the lead. Phillips is in. So is Keelan. A 2-run double for Ace Sellers. And it's Chattanooga that takes a 2-0 lead in the top of the 4th.
Well, this pitch, she goes back to the outside part of the plate, and this time it bleeds back over the middle of the plate. And the number 9 batter, Sellers, drives the ball deep, squares it up, is on time, and this Chattanooga team believes.
Top of the order, Snell to left field, to her left, reaching up, caught by Kaylee Mudge to win the inning. But the damage done on the 2-out, 2-run double for Ace.
They've won the SoCon Tournament Championship. They believe, they're gritty, and they're a very close-knit group. And there's a lot of power in that cohesion and that belief at this time of year. But what I like that I'm seeing is they're laying off a lot of pitches out of the zone, and when it is in the zone, they're on time.
3, 4, and 5 part of the order up. Haley Harding earned a walk in the first inning. Florida State, the number 15 national seed. Hosting for the 10th consecutive NCAA tournament. Trailing 2-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. You can feel the energy level changing now that Florida State's trailing in this game. Not that that count can't change in a hurry with this Florida State offense. Crowd didn't like that strike call.
Well, and the performance of the Mocs has really taken Florida State out of the crowd out of this game. Florida State is very tough to beat in this ballpark, but the crowd hasn't had a lot to cheer about yet.
Haley Phillips from third base. Get Harding with the first out of the bottom of the 4th. What has made Peja Gould, starting pitcher for Chattanooga to this point, put up 3 1/3 scoreless innings?
Gosh, she's really spinning the ball. I think Coach Reed and I are on the same page. You know, he's like, you can see it up there, how much she's spinning it, and there's no doubt about it, especially with her curveball. She's able to throw it for a strike or off the plate. She's still getting a lot of swings and misses. Right there is a curveball for a strike. And then she can come back, she sets her foot a little bit different and comes to the outer half of the plate. We saw Beecham swing and miss at a few of those, but she's just got really lively wrist movement right now. And most importantly, she hasn't missed any over the white part of the plate. I mean, this is a Florida State team. You cannot do that. They will make you pay. And she has not given in, really living on the corners.
Edenfield rolled out to shortstop back in the first inning. This time slow roller to second. Perry with the underhand toss. 2 ground ball outs begins the Florida State 4th inning.
And you can see the result of the spin on the ball as well. A lot of miss hits from Florida State. They're having a hard time tracking the ball, and she's getting a lot of late break on the ball. They're hitting it off the end of their bat. Gonna have to really move up in the box a little bit, try to catch that ball without as much spin. And really, it sounds simple, but really connecting, watching that connection, keeping your head down, making sure you follow it all the way through the break as you connect with your bat. But a lot of credit to Gould right now. She's shutting down one of the most potent offenses in the country.
Torres singled to center. First at bat, she has one of the 2 hits. The other came 2 batters later in that second inning on a bunt base hit by Janai Kerr. Florida State has had one other base runner besides those 2 hits, and that was the 2-out walk to Kaylee Harding in the first. 2-0 Chattanooga. They just scored 2 in the top of this 4th inning on a 2-run double from Aislinn Sellers. Fly ball left field. Carrying it towards the foul line, and it's run down by Bailey Pitts. 7 in a row set down by Peja Gould. Still a lot of softball to play here in Tallahassee. We'll get to the top of the 5th inning. Listen, Royalty back to work. It's the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Chattanooga has stranded 5 on base. Florida State has left 2. Cerudo maybe a miss. Cameron has doubled and struck out. It's been a couple of seasons at Chattanooga State. Her first season with Chattanooga. They made all SoCon first team this year. There's Royalty, takes a funny hop. She's able to reach and field it and out at first, but they're going to bring this back as a foul ball. It's a fun play to watch, Royalty made. It just didn't count.
That was a heck of an athletic play. That ball had some serious English on it. Looked like a trick shot playing billiards. It had all kinds of spin on it. She was still able to make the play. Doesn't count.
That's foul as well.
But right now, Cernudo just way out in front of the ball, and that's why she's hitting it on top of the ball straight down. Look for her to make a little adjustment here, let the ball get a little deep into the zone.
Fouled another. You know, something Cernudo does exceptionally well has been bunting. I mention that because she has 22 sack bunts on the season, which leads the nation. Obviously not a situation here for her to add to that, but it is a very noteworthy statistic.
Yeah, and it just shows you that her teammates, you get a good look at them there, are able to get on base in front of her. And so she's able to move those runners. And that's something that Chattanooga has done all season long. This is a very complete offense. They can score via the long ball. You mentioned the short game. Big 2-out hit.
It's quite an at-bat, a plate appearance there for Cernudo. Earns a leadoff walk. Well, UCF is awaiting the winner of this game in the winner's bracket tomorrow, scheduled at 1 Eastern time. And it's Auburn out of the SEC awaiting the loser of this game tomorrow in the first elimination game here in Tallahassee. This is the first time in the game they put the leadoff banner on base, and this time it's a sac bunt that moves Cernudo down to second from Olivia LaPerry. Now Pitts, who so far tonight walked in the first and grounded out to short in the third.
Now Pitts is having a strong overall season as a hitter, but against right-handed pitchers, she's hitting .277. Against left-handed pitchers, that jumps to .368. So sees the ball very well out of the hand of a left-handed pitcher.
Softly hit, Danley fields, turns, throws, and gets her by a step. And will advance Cernudo 60 feet down to third, so she's there now with 2 outs.
How about the defensive fielding ability of the Florida State pitchers? I mean, they really have shown you their athleticism, and they have become that 5th infielder. Saw a nice play by Royalty. It was wiped off because of the foul ball, but this is a long way to run. That bunt was a really tough play for Ashton Danley, especially as a left-handed pitcher, to get to the ball and turn around and fire a strike to get her out. When you have pitchers who can field their position and get outs for their team, it makes a big difference.
Chattanooga head coach Frank Reed going to the lineup card, bringing in Anna Doby to pinch hit here for Forsyth.
Well, and this is where the veteran leadership of Michaela Edenfield behind the plate. I mean, Ashton Danley throws some strikes, but also throws a lot of balls in the dirt with swings and misses. And with a runner at third base, Florida State cannot afford the ball to get past Edenfield to allow that third run to score for Chattanooga. So really going to rely on her veteran leadership behind the plate to keep the ball in front, especially with the drop ball pitcher in the circle.
Houston Danley on in relief for Florida State. To third, Beecham. Chattanooga stranded at least one runner in every inning. They've now left 6. They failed us miles per hour a week ago today. And strangely enough, no damage here to the softball stadium, but right next door to Dick Hauser Stadium, the right field fence was damaged, as well as the scoreboard. You had the FSU's Flying High Circus tent that was brought down. And a couple of people lost their lives as well, unfortunately, in those tornadoes. Ground ball to first, taken there by first baseman Sellers, one out. And people here locally are saying it's the worst damage to town that they've had in Tallahassee since Hurricane Kate, back in 1985.
And just since the time we've been here, Mark, when we've been driving around, we're just amazed and saddened by the amount of debris on every street. And you mentioned the Flying High Circus coming down. I mean, it is absolutely destroyed and demolished, and just heartbreaking.
So our thoughts with the folks here in Tallahassee. Many still just trying to get power to their homes. Dealing with the tornado outbreak that was a week ago this morning. Mike Kerr has made a couple of very nice defensive plays in right field. Also has a bunt base hit, one of the 2 hits for Florida State. Asia Gould's 1-1 pitch is up and in.
Just love her presence in the circle. Gould, she has had the same demeanor, the same calm confidence ever since she set foot in the circle.
Ball's hit well towards left center field and can't get there. The center fielder Cornudo on her way to third. Is Kerr throw there? A little offline and late. Third triple of the season for Janai Kerr, and that's what the Seminole fans have been waiting for.
Well, Janai Kerr has done it all for her team. We saw her play defense, make 2 exceptional plays. And this time she takes a pitch down by her ankles and shows you her power, her ability to get the barrel to the zone and elevate. Thought she might be being a little bit too aggressive heading to third base with that ball to left field, but she's able to get in there and really has ignited her team and ignited this crowd.
They're going to run for Kerr with the aforementioned Autumn Belvi. Here's Autumn. She will run at third for Kerr. She's there with 1 out. Florida State gets the potential tying run to the plate. A big run at third if Florida State will get it home and cut the lead in half. FSU hitter is Amaya Ross. Popped up, but it will twist back and get out of play.
And this is where Florida State has been so good all season long, and really over the last decade where they have been able to host postseason. They are looking for a pitch, and they practice this all the time with situational hitting. Where can I find a pitch here in this at-bat that I can drive to the outfield and get that run in? This is where Florida State really shines at their situational hitting, putting a swing on a pitch that they can do some damage with considering the situation.
Shortened up, but takes high. Here's your situational hitting this season.
I mean, take a look at those numbers. Now, we're not in any one of those situations right now, but that is outstanding production.
There is less than 2 outs.
Hitting a meager 729 in that
yeah.
situation mark on the season. I mean, those are outstanding numbers. That means they know how to get it done when it matters most.
We've been here quite a long time today, so the greater and less than little signs are a little hard to pick up at this time. Bunted foul back to the screen. You know, 729 is absurd in this situation with less than 2 outs, runner at third.
Definitely one of the best in the country, and that's a team stat. It's not like one player who knows how to get it done. This is a team statistic, and they've had a lot of opportunities in that situation as well. I mean, they've had 140 opportunities in that situation, and they've been able to be successful 102 times.
It's absolutely insane.
Very impressive.
How will this particular one of those situations work out? And this time it's Peja Gould who gets a strikeout of Ross, who was second out of the inning.
She says, you can take those numbers and, you know, put them away right now. It's the curveball. The curveball has been her pitch. It has late break on it. You can see the side spin on the ball as it drives away from the right-handed batters. Just a big pitch and a big moment in this game.
That's bounced towards the middle, and it's going to get the run home. A diving stop by Snell. She has no play. So this time they get the key hit with a runner at third with 2 outs. That makes it a 2-1 game.
And this is a ball that just has to be caught. If you're Kaylee Snell, you've got to lay out and try to catch the ball instead of fielding it off the short hop. Not sure if she would have got to that ball in the air or not, but that is your only play, because once that ball drops, there's no way you're going to be able to finish the play and get the out at first base. And Florida State is just happy to get on the board. They'll take it any way they can so far in this game against Gould.
Hallie Waycaser with the hit and the RBI, her 28th run batted in. They'll run for her. Harp comes back in. Harp re-enters. A 2-1 game, and the top of the order up for Florida State and Kaylee Mudge. There she goes. Harp steals second. The 9th stolen base in as many tries on the season. There's the tying run in scoring position.
And you just wondered, were they going to challenge Jace Purdy again? Jace Purdy, at the top 5 in the country in runners thrown out, stealing 18 on the season. This time, Florida State gets the steal. In the game within the game tonight, it's 1-1.
On the scoreboard right now, it's 2-1. So it's been pretty similar to first. Big chop right to the midsection of Ace Sellers, who steps on 3 unassisted. But the Noles get on the board, and it's a 2-1 game at the end of 5. Sellers. Florida State just got on the board with an RBI base hit. Hallie Waycaser. Willie Phillips leading off. Willie singled with 1 out in the 4th and would later score. And that Ace Sellers double. Out there in right field, that's Belvi, who's now in right field. Florida State, and that hit her in the batting helmet. Just casually drops the bat. Willie Phillips takes her base. And gives a yell for her teammates.
I think talking to her yesterday, she is the undisputed leader of the Mocs. That one hurts. That one got her right in the ear of the helmet. Ouch.
Deserves being checked on, and training staff for Chattanooga doing the right thing, coming out and just, I'm sure a few questions there. Kaylee, where are you? What's the score? What just happened? All right. Second straight inning, the Chattanooga's put the leadoff batter on base. Elon wants to bunt her over. Puts up empty on the first pitch.
And this is where, when you're in a bunter, with Keelan in this situation, you're reading the defense. Flaherty's covering second. You've got Ross down the first baseline. You want to bunt that ball down the first baseline, especially with a left-handed pitcher in the circle. That makes it even tougher to make that out at first base. And you get a look there, Keelan, with the attempt to put it down first base. Now clearly Danley's throwing it outside as well, but that's the weakness in this defense for Florida State right now.
And her head coach Frank Reed seeing that as well, wants to chat with his hitter Eddie Keelan.
Well, now with 2 strikes, you know, a lot of times as a coach you'd love to keep that bunt on, but you have to know your personnel. You know, is Keelan one of my best short game specialists? Can she get it down with 2 strikes? Or are you going to go ahead and let her swing away in this situation? Still try to move the runner into scoring position.
Swinging away, it strikes out. Make sure you do not miss a minute of the action from the end. Phillips still at first now with 1 out for catcher Jace Purdy. That is foul. I was kind of wondering if it actually hit her while in the batter's box. Took kind of a strange hop, but apparently did not. Purdy with a walk in the second and grounded out to the left side in the 4th. What a big 4 RBI game in the SoCon Tourney title game. It's UNCG, which was hosted in Greensboro by UNCG. Purdy to third. Beecham goes to second for 1 and to first a double play. 24th turn this year by Florida State. That one goes around the horn coast. It's efficient and then came back. All right, still a 2-1 Chattanooga lead as Florida State bats last of the 6th. But the heart of the order up 2, 3, and 4. Beecham, Harding, and Edenfield scheduled here in the FSU 6th. There's the pitch that has been her nemesis tonight from Gould.
Now Beecham just cannot lay off that pitch. She's even creeped a little closer to the plate, really crowding the plate a little bit more than she typically does. Still cannot catch up with it. It is not a strike. And she's swung at more strikes. I mean, Beecham coming into this game had 11 strikeouts in 172 at-bats. That's one of the best around, especially with her .436 batting average and all of the hits that she has. And she is having a tough time picking up that curveball out of the hands of Gould.
That time she hits it on a soft line to third base with Kaylee Phillips right near the bag. It's the first out of the bottom of the 6th. Asia Gould. The circle for Chattanooga tonight has been outstanding right now, clinging to a 1-run lead here in Tallahassee. balls, no strikes. Well, this is the 10th consecutive season that Florida State has hosted a regional. The previous 9, they have won the opening game every year. You have to go back to 2012 when they were in the Los Angeles regional that Florida State has lost an opening round game in the NCAA regional. And that was to San Diego State back in 2012. Rio strike.
Something else that's been so good for Peja Gould is her pitch count. I mean, she's thrown just 85 pitches on the evening, and this is a Florida State team that usually makes you work deep into counts, a lot of hits. That has not happened tonight. But in this case, Kaylee Harding does draw the walk. That's just the second walk of the evening, both to Harding, that Gould has given up.
There's the potential tying run on base for Florida State. Go ahead run at the plate. Catcher Michaela Edenfield. After getting Beecham on that soft line drive to third to begin the inning, that's what 5 of the last 6 from Gould out of the strike zone.
Well, this is typically where Florida State is so good at extending innings. They get runners on base and they pass the bat. Just 1 for 5 with runners on base tonight. They haven't had that many base runners. And credit the defense for Chattanooga. Of course, that all starts in a circle with Gould. She's mainly been using that curveball. That's such tight spin on it. And right now, Florida State has not connected. We've really seen one real loud hit today from Janai Kerr.
Chopped right side, and that's going to get through. Harding will advance all the way to third and now throw to second base safe. Edenfield taking a chance, just got in ahead of that return throw. The Noles have runners at second and third. Frank Reed, head coach of the Mocs, has come out. He wants them to take another look and call at second base here.
I want to take a look at the safe out call.
They will uphold that call at second base. Safe, Edenfield. So the tying and go-ahead runs are in scoring position for Florida State with 1 out. We're going to run for Edenfield now. We get some high fives in the dugout. Annie Potter going to be the runner. Here is Torres, swing and pulls it foul. Up and on the first pitch. Back-to-back hits, I should say back-to-back runners reaching. Harding a walk, now Edenfield single. Five hits for Florida State. Pitch for Gould, and it's 0-2.
It's that off speed. She's been able to have great command, not only of her curveball tonight, but that off speed pitch. She's been throwing it on any count. It's really kept Florida State off balance. Tough for them to hunt a speed or hunt a pitch. She's been mixing it up so well.
Smothered by Purdy. Lost it for a moment. Now able to find it. That has to be a second or two that seems like an eternity. You're in a game situation with a tying run at third. For a moment, you know it's somewhere around you, but you're not exactly sure what. Another one in about the same spot. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And we talked about it earlier. This is where Florida State has been so good all season long, hitting over 700 with a runner at third base and less than 2 outs. Over 400 with runners in scoring position. This is where they make teams pay.
Torres, right center, caught. Here comes the tying run for the plate. It will not be in time. Torres lit into that one, but a great jump by Cernudo to get into right center to make the catch. It turns into a sac fly, scoring Harding from third, and it's 2-2. That's one of the hardest hit balls tonight by Florida State off Peja Gould.
And just knowing the situation, I need to look for a pitch up in the zone that I can drive to the outfield, and that's exactly what Issa Torres does. This is where Florida State is so good. Runner at third with less than 2 outs, hitting over 700 on the season. They come through again in that situation.
It's under the hands of Devin Flaherty for ball 1. Couple of ground outs for Devin tonight. Pitch runner is Potter at second, who represents the go-ahead run for Florida State with 2 outs in the 6th. Chattanooga scored twice in the 4th. 2-out, 2-run double by Ace Sellers. Old's got 1 back. The 5th. Waycaser RBI hit, and now have tied it on a sac fly by Torres. Nice pitch. Inside edge to even the count, 2-2.
Another good off-speed pitch. She's been using that a lot in hitters counts or even counts, not allowing Florida State to really dig in. And it's been very effective for her this evening.
That's hit towards right center field. Hit well off the fence. Florida State will take the lead. Potter scores. Flaherty to third. She'll even take a turn and hold there. An RBI triple off the fence in right center for Devin Flaherty. And the Noles have come back to take a 3-2 lead.
How many times has Devin Flaherty been in a big moment in the postseason? This is another off-speed pitch, but it's too much over the white part of the plate. And Devin Flaherty knows how to step up in these big moments. It's misplayed off the wall, allowing her to get to third base. And Florida State takes the lead.
14th RBI of the year for Flaherty, her 2nd triple. Florida State has gone up 3-2. Flaherty's extra base hit on Peja Gould's 100th pitch of the night. Well, now if you're Chattanooga, the runner at third is a huge run. I mean, you're down a run now. Going to the 7th, you're going to be down at least 1, and you want to keep it that way.
You feel like when you look up at the scoreboard, 1 run is...
Kerr has been a tough out for Peja Gould tonight because she's not been able to get her out. Is 2 for 2 with a bunt hit in the 2nd. A triple to center in the 5th.
Well, and this is something Florida State has been good at, coming from behind in the postseason. In the last 10 NCAA tournaments, Florida State has 7 wins when trailing entering the 6th inning. They know how to come back with their back against the wall. Now, clearly, Chattanooga still has a little time, but they're good at coming from behind.
Haley Pitts makes the catch and left. 2 hitters up. Ace Sellers has had the big hit for them tonight. 2-run double in the 4th, leads off, and she's saying she was hit by the pitch. And she will take her base. Florida State not so sure. Plate umpire's bringing her back. Keith Walker, the plate umpire, is saying nope, come back. Now Frank Reed wants an explanation. He has asked Keith Walker to get some help. Steve Gould. And we'll take another look ourselves.
They're really looking too to see if the ball changed in trajectory at all. Does not look like that from that particular angle.
And they're going to look at this. The centralized replay center of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and comes back into play here. Let's play under review. Can we see at all any change? So it was never actually called a hit by pitch by the plate umpire. So the call on the field is not a hit by pitch. It's just no hit by pitch. Easton Sellers.
Just a ball on the batter.
Yeah, trying to sell that, saying she was hit. And here comes the result. And they're going to keep her at the plate. So it's a 1-ball, no strike count on Aislinn Sellers. Then 9-1 and 2 hitters for Chattanooga. Florida State needs to 1 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th. Taking a 3-2 lead after Chattanooga with 2 in the 4th to take a 2-0 lead. Swing and a foul. Went off of her leg. Austin Danley came in relief with 1 out in the 5th. Florida State down 2-0. And there's strike 3 call.
All of Ashton Danley's faster pitches, the drop balls in the zone, set the strikeout pitch up. This is an off-speed pitch that she throws down the middle of the plate, but the speed of the ball absolutely freezes Sellers. A huge strikeout and the leadoff out for Danley.
Top of the order, Snell, wave and a miss. Haley Snell, a couple of fly ball outs and a ground out, 0 for 3. UCF awaits the winner of this game. The loser plays Auburn in the elimination, our first elimination game in Tallahassee. Snell caught. Torres, it's short. Snow cone that, but hung on. Chattanooga's down to their final out.
Well, that was not an easy play for Isa Torres. Those line drives right at you, they actually freeze you a little bit. And once she sees where the ball is and picks it up, she's got to extend all the way up. Really took away a hit and a base runner for Chattanooga late in this game.
Cameron Cernudo had a good night with the bat. A double in the third, a walk in the fifth. Austin Danley has come in out of the bullpen. The base runner she's allowed was a hit by pitch. Phillips leading off the sixth, and that was erased in a double play. And now she has Florida State a strike away from taking their opener in the Tallahassee Regional. Florida State trailed late, came back late, and beat Chattanooga 3-2. Ty Kerr has been a tough out for Paige Gould tonight because she's not been able to get her out. Ty is 2 for 2 with a bunt hit in the second. A triple to center in the fifth.
Well, and this is something Florida State has been good at, coming from behind in the postseason. In the last 10 NCAA tournaments, Florida State has 7 wins when trailing entering the 6th inning. They know how to come back with their back against the wall. Now, clearly, Chattanooga still has a little time, but they're good at coming from behind.
Haley Pitts makes the catch and left.